Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Arthritis Foundation President and Chief Executive Officer, Ann M. Palmer.
Well, good evening. It's my first chance to greet you, so I want to say hello and tell you how excited I am to be in a room full of such enthusiastic people. And I have to say that you've all cleaned up pretty well. You look fantastic. You're looking pretty sharp here. So it looks like you're ready for a festive occasion, and we have one for you. You're in luck tonight. We have a very special program for you tonight as we celebrate our 42nd Evening of Honors. And tonight is a time for us to salute, to celebrate our accomplishments as a team, and to put the spotlight on some really outstanding individuals who have really gone above and beyond. So we're going to have a great time. I hope you enjoy the evening. You certainly deserve it. You know, we've worked pretty hard today. We've rolled up our sleeves. We've been getting down to business. We've been talking about the Live Yes Arthritis Network. And we've had a chance to do some networking, to share ideas, great energy from each other. So, you know, at the foundation, we're working hard on a lot of initiatives. We're working on our scientific agenda. We have a great advocacy and access agenda. I hope you feel good about what we're doing and help and support. But we're always, always, always listening to the voice of patients and bringing solutions. And I think the Live Yes Network is really going to be the ultimate in that. We'll get a chance to do some more work tomorrow. We'll be asking you to go back home and really take this enthusiasm that we have going on here. We'll charge you with some specific things we want you to do. But tonight is about celebrating our successes, your successes, and coming together as a community to recommit ourselves to our mission and our passion for that. You know, for 7 decades, the Arthritis Foundation has been the organizations that patients and their families come to. And they do come to us because they know our track record and they trust us. With your support, we could commit to reaching the needs of more of our constituents faster, to truly become the lifelong partner in care to people with arthritis, allowing people with arthritis to live the best life possible. You know, I am really honored to be here with you tonight. I'm really honored to be with you and to have the chance to celebrate. Because together, staff and volunteers, we are a formidable team. Yeah. And tonight, we're going to, I'm not sure celebrate is really the right word, but we're going to celebrate our 70th anniversary as an organization by being together and honoring the best of the best. You know, I want to be sure to thank each of you, our arthritis volunteers, you in the room with us who've made the trip, and those across the country who are not here, and let you know that we know that you are the lifeblood of this organization. You're the fuel, or as Rick said today, the wheels. I think fuel's better than wheels, but we'll go with that. I want to thank all of our partners for your crucial support, from healthcare professionals and major corporations, from institutional partners, industry partners, and academic institutions. Our partnerships are what make us stronger as a community. And I want to do a special shout out right now to our AOPI group. They have a nice group here tonight, great supporters of us. Just want to say thank you. You know, and I also want to just pause for a minute and thank our Arthritis Foundation staff across the country, staff that have worked hard to bring this event to us tonight. You know, they're your partners. They keep the machine well-oiled, maintained, hopefully on track. And I think it's time for us tonight to also celebrate our great partnership together. You know, as we come together, and I know that each of you have made this extra effort to be here with us over these last couple of days, I I also want to express my deep appreciation to your family, to your friends that support you as you support us. You know, they have to have some nights and weekends, both staff and volunteers, and so I want to express my appreciation to those that allow you to volunteer for us. You know, I want to begin tonight by recognizing a longtime friend of the Arthritis Foundation that helps make this celebration possible, and that's our Evening of Honor sponsor, Lilly. Lilly has been a great partner to us. We have some lilies on the table to represent that Lilly and their great partner. And you know, I have the great pleasure tonight of introducing Michelle Oshman, a good friend, a very bright woman, very passionate, who's going to talk to us for a few minutes on behalf of Lilly. But thank you so much for your great support.
Thanks so much, everyone. Michelle Oshman with Eli Lilly and Company. I didn't get the memo that the color changed from blue to Kelly green. No, I'm kidding. I just don't look good in green. But thank you so much for being here. I really hate boring speeches, so I promise I won't be boring, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the relationship Lilly has had with the foundation over the last decade. And yes, decade. While we may not have been a powerhouse in arthritis or autoimmune disease, we certainly have learned more from this community than I could say from any number of marketing advisory boards and any other tools that we in the industry utilize to learn more about a disease state when we hope we have a molecule that will be successful. We have been successful, and that's really good news for all of us. But in particular, that success rests on your shoulders. So I won't make you cheer and say yes, yes, yes with RA, but I am going to tell you that about 9 years ago, and I don't know if any of the folks are in the room here, we had a patient advisory board in Atlanta, and it was the first time our company had ever partnered with a patient advocacy group to hold such an advisory board. Clinical researchers, the head of our R&D division, myself, a whole number of us were down there. And we said, let's do this advisory board different. Let's do this in a way that makes the most sense for people living with RA. And I know Amgen's here and Pfizer, so now you'll all get these great ideas, and that's totally cool, because actually we think it's the right thing to do. We had our advisory board in a cozy room at a hotel. We made sure that the chairs were chairs that were easy to get out of, but easy and comfortable to sit in. And we talked to people about their experience with arthritis. We said, Arthritis Foundation, you pick the volunteers, you pick the ambassadors, and let's hear from them. And I won't give away any of their names. I still keep in touch with 2 of them. But there was a gentleman there who was an Olympic level athlete. He woke up one day and couldn't open his fists. He wasn't sure what was going on, but the sport that he represented required the use of all of his body, in particular his upper body. He talked to us about what it was like to lose major sponsors in 24 hours' time when he told them, I can't open my hands, I went to the hospital, and here's what I've learned. And he learned that he lived with RA. We talked to a mom who made us all cry. And I won't cry, but or try not to. But we said, what are your hopes and dreams? What do you want to do? What do you want to do tomorrow? What do you want to do 10 years from tomorrow? She said, I want to pick up my baby. And for us, that was a game changer. We hadn't heard anything like that. We hadn't been a company that did arthritis research. But we've realized over those last 10 years and hearing more and more from each of you and the people you love and the people you represent, just what a journey it is, and really what a blessing it is to have an Arthritis Foundation, not only to partner with all of you and bring you to your yes, but also to help educate folks like us who work day and night in our labs to bring new discoveries and treatments to people living with arthritis. So it is certainly an honor to be here. It is an honor to be part of the Yes with RA campaign and a partner to just celebrate everything with you all and celebrate the successes that you've all brought forth. And I totally echo Anne's comments about the Arthritis Foundation staff. So that's like, woohoo, to your staff. So. Of course.
Well, thank you, Michelle. You can see that she's very passionate and We really appreciate Lily's gracious support of the Arthritis Foundation and certainly for hosting the Evening of Honors the last few years. You know, most of you know that for the past few years, we've had the pleasure of having Matt Eisman here as our Evening of Honors MC. A lot of fun. And last year, as I think most of you know, Matt was crowned the new Celebrity Apprentice. Winning nearly $1 million for the Arthritis Foundation as he competed against 15 celebrity contestants. You know, Matt's been a supporter of the Arthritis before Celebrity Apprentice. He continues to be. He's done a tremendous amount of work for us this year. He sends his regrets that he can't be here, but he has asked us to share this message with you.
Hey everybody, it's Matt Eisman saying hello to the Conference of Champions. I wish I could be there. I'm sorry I'm not, because I know I'm missing the Arthritis Foundation's 70th birthday. You're looking amazing for 70, by the way. I just want to say congratulations and thank you for all the work you've done and you continue to do. Together, we are champions of yes. And you are my Arthritis Ninja Warriors.
You know, Matt isn't here with us, but I'm sure he's sending us his ninja vibe, so I'm sure he's with us in spirit. And tonight, we're going to pass the baton of hosting this event to a volunteer, a TV star in Central Ohio, Pete Scalia. And yeah, it's going to be a great night. Pete was diagnosed with severe arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, at the age of 30. And despite all that he's gone through, including many joint replacement surgeries, he's come out on top. And he now is the co-anchor of 10 TV's This Morning, which is a news program in Columbus, Ohio. I understand that he's also an accomplished musician who still performs with his dad in a band called Snidely Whiplash. I'm sure there's more to that story, so we'll look forward to hearing about it. You know, Pete has been great about sharing his story about RA, and he and his father have been great supporters of the Arthritis Foundation, supported a lot of events like Walk to Cure Arthritis, Jingle Bell Run, and spends a lot of time with us at the Classic Car event and Cruise In, which my husband and I have had the opportunity to attend, a great event. He also serves on the Arthritis Foundation's local leadership board in Columbus. And just so we can get to know him a little bit better, we're going to have a quick little peek at a video.
It's our job to tell people stories. I found that by sharing my personal story and my journey with arthritis, that maybe other people who might be going through something similar can relate. I feel like I have an obligation, given my job, to get the word out and dispel some of the myths that are associated with arthritis. It's not just a little old lady's disease. Anyone can get arthritis. Kids get arthritis too. I want to do what I can to help change that conversation.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our new MC, Pete Scalia. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Ann.
Congratulations. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you. How's everybody doing this evening? Looking forward to having a great time, I hope. I wore my understated jacket just to... Don't like to really stand out or anything. Ann, thank you so much, and thank you to each and every one of you who is here for this evening to celebrate. It is an incredible honor for me to be here with you and be part of this special occasion. And admittedly, I mean, you have to be a little nervous following in the footsteps of the Ninja Warrior man, Matt Eisman. But, you know, Matt really does set an example for all of us that we should embrace our unique talents and skills to strengthen the arthritis community. Because this is such an important and a worthy cause. It encourages us to grow our community. Thank you for being a part of it, and thank you for having me join you this evening. I talked about sharing my story in that video there, and just to give you guys a little bit of background about me. I was diagnosed when I was 30 years old with severe rheumatoid arthritis, and we hit it pretty strong right away. I found a cocktail of biologic drugs, methotrexate, leflunomide, and that worked pretty well for me for about 8 years or so. Then my wife and I decided we wanted to start a family, and as many of you know, even on the guy side of things, I needed to get all of that out of my system before we could try to conceive. It ended up taking a little longer than we thought. After about 6 months of being off medications, we got pregnant, but unfortunately, the night before we were supposed to have that first appointment to hear a heartbeat, we had a miscarriage. So we were determined, though, to keep trying, and did, for about another year. Now, keep in mind, in this time, the only thing I was able to take to manage my symptoms was prednisone. And in the course of that almost year and a half, I kept needing more and more and more. And when you work in television, it doesn't slip by when you go from 180 pounds to 220. But also in that time, it was masking the damage that was being done to my body. So finally, we were approved for in vitro fertilization in that process. After I had visited the bank enough times, I was able to try to taper off the prednisone and get back on my previous cocktail of drugs, which would have been fine, except that none of the drugs I used to take worked for me anymore. So in that process of trying to find another cocktail that worked for me, we found that my joints, my hips, my knees basically were all just bone on bone. There was no cartilage left, and the bones were just crunching together. And it got to be to the point, if anybody here remembers the Carol Burnett show and Tim Conway and Mr. Tudball, that was literally how I would walk. And when I would get to work in the morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I had a production crew member that would come out to my car and meet me with a wheelchair, wheel me into the set, prop me up at the anchor desk to do the show every day. I eventually then, about a month after that, had bilateral hip replacement surgery. And while I was at home recovering from that, growing one heck of a beard, we announced to our viewers that my wife was pregnant. So we were very excited about that. But even after our daughter Lola was born, I knew that I still needed a new set of knees. And it was hard not to get despondent when you think, I already went through this, we have to go through more. But I met a lot of people by sharing our story publicly. And it showed me that it was a way to let people who are living with some form of arthritis, that they are not alone. And kind of a hidden benefit for me was them reminding me that I'm not alone. So since then, after the hips, the knees, feeling pretty good, Steve Austin style, little $6 million man, probably $6 billion now with inflation. We actually had our second daughter, Sophia, naturally. Surprise, miracle baby, right? It was pretty good. But little did we know, apparently, all the problems we had having our first child didn't apply, because now we also have a 7-month-old baby boy at home, our son Nico. So what was really ironic is all the trouble we went through and all the changes I've gone through after trying to conceive the first time, to ending now full circle with my wife saying, I don't care what other procedures you need to get done on your feet. There's one procedure you're getting done before you get anywhere near me. So needless to say, I didn't know that one was on the list, but I just like using the Arthritis Foundation. It helped me as a patient, and I love being an advocate for the Arthritis Foundation and other people to let them know what amazing resources we have available, to let people know that they should never give up, and to make the Live Yes Arthritis Network successful so it benefits everyone. So now let's get the show on the road. But first, I want to remind you the 2018 Conference of Champions isn't all it can be unless you share your experiences. So you might have seen some of the pictures on the screen out in the hallway. Make sure you use the hashtag #WeLiveYes throughout the night to express yourself. Comment in real time on the sessions you've been attending, on the evening tonight. Take pictures, have fun, share photos with your fellow volunteers, your partners, and really enjoy the evening. So joining me on stage tonight to hand out tonight's awards are Ann Palmer and Board of Directors Chair Roland Bing Chang. Okay. Our first award this evening is the Arthritis Foundation's Corporate Impact Award. It goes to a corporation whose partnership is well-rooted in the foundation's mission. It's a partner whose commitment is long-term, strategic, and ever-evolving to meet the needs of the people we serve. Tonight, we salute Amgen, one of the world's largest biotechnology companies. Amgen is dedicated to turning the tide on serious, life-interrupting diseases like arthritis, pushing the boundaries of science to transform medicine. This year, Amgen commemorates the 20th anniversary of making available to the public for the very first time the drug Enbrel, a tumor necrosis factor blocker that's changed the lives of so many people living with arthritis. Among those whose lives were forever changed was Celia Clark. Celia and her husband Edgar filmed a video with us 8 years ago, which still touches our hearts today. Here's a quick excerpt.
The rheumatologist called me in and said, I'm getting a shipment of a new drug, but I'm seeing some of the clinical reports and it looks like it might really be a good thing. Do you think you can come in here? And I'm like, when? 10 minutes?
I was afraid to believe it, after 18 years.
And I came back in 2 weeks, and this was something I will never, ever forget. He did his exam in the office, and he said to me, there is no clinical sign of active disease. And he burst into tears. I was in shock.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're honored to have joining us this evening Celia Clark and Edgar Gentry Jr. Please stand up, Celia and Edgar. And now I'd like to invite to the stage the director of Amgen's Advocacy Relations, Jamie Galachnik. We're proud to present the 2018 Corporate Impact Award to Amgen.
Well, thank you very much. I wanted to thank both the Arthritis Foundation and Bing and Ann for a gracious award. Our company is committed to the work the Arthritis Foundation does in helping patients both with access and supporting them in their journey with their disease. Our continued commitment to the Arthritis Foundation Walk, we believe, is vital to bringing the patients together to celebrate their journey and the champions of yes. On a personal note, many Amgen employees today were evacuated from their homes in Thousand Oaks, California, and I want to wish them well as we work through the crisis that's happening in California. My family was also evacuated, but certainly It's important for us to be here with you. Everyone is safe and happy and healthy, but those families that have been impacted, we certainly want to give them the best. Thank you very much again for this award.
Thank you again to Jamie, and thank you to Amgen for being such a spectacular partner for the Arthritis Foundation for so many years. Now we'd like to recognize some other great partners who have made a big dent in the fight against arthritis in 2018. Our Circle of Champions consists of those national partners that have each committed a total of $100,000 or more to the organization, helping improve people's lives to help conquer arthritis. If you represent one of these caring and generous supporters that are shown on the screen right now, please stand and be proud so we could recognize you. In addition, these special partners lead the fight by giving countless hours of volunteer time nationally and locally, as well as an annual financial commitment valued at over $1 million each. If you represent these fine companies, AbbVie, Amgen, and Lilly, please stand so we can acknowledge you this evening. Thank you to everyone who represents all of these philanthropic partnerships in the Circle of Champions. Your vital support is helping us change the future of arthritis today and strive for a cure. And all of us can further thank them by being loyal customers and supporters. I want to turn our attention now to an enormously important endeavor the Arthritis Foundation launched last year, our Be the One Major Gifts campaign. Since it launched, Be the One's drawn many committed and generous supporters. The initiatives Be the One encompasses are truly ambitious and life-changing. Here's a reminder of what our Be the One campaign is all about.
The arthritis community depends on the Arthritis Foundation for the most current information and insights on treatment options. We're the world's largest network of arthritis patient voices. We bring unparalleled success through legislative actions and by paving the pathway to new discoveries. There's no organization better equipped or committed to conquering arthritis than we are. Building on this foundation, we are the champion of 4 bold new initiatives. With your help, we will open a new era for OA therapeutic development, accelerating the pace of scientific discovery and shortening the path to bring new drugs to market. We'll end the trial and error treatment of nearly 300,000 children in the U.S. with juvenile arthritis and help make personalized medicine a reality. We'll reverse the widening shortage of rheumatologists with an expanded fellowship program across the country. And we'll improve overall health outcomes by establishing a national network that provides doctors and patients with a secure communications channel where they can co-produce a care plan in real time. Our initiatives are bold, audaciously attacking the more than 100 types of arthritis out there. Millions of lives will be changed. But none of this can happen without your financial support. A real change to the future of arthritis is coming. Will you be part of it?
I mean, as you can see, these really are some amazing ventures. Cutting edge, far-reaching, and absolutely essential to changing the future. Now, earlier this year, the Jane Wyman Trust gave a big boost to these 4 scientific initiatives through the largest matching gift in the Arthritis Foundation's history. Jane Wyman was a gifted actress, singer, dancer, and philanthropist, also, by the way, the first wife of Ronald Reagan. Jane lived with the pain of arthritis herself and was a steadfast supporter of the Arthritis Foundation, serving as national spokesperson and bringing on board many of the biggest world-renowned celebrities of the time. I want to share with you now a couple of quick nostalgic clips from the Arthritis Foundation's rich 70 years of history, featuring some celebrities who, at the time, amplified our message about the importance of this cause. An early 60s commercial and a 1972 public service announcement. Take a look at these two flashbacks.
Step right up, young man. Tell you what we're going to do. Arthritis your trouble? Got the cure right here. The electronic calisthenic vaporizer cures arthritis with paramagnetic force at a special price of only $14.43.
No? Well, here's what you're looking for. My own secret formula. Pedal pills. And it'll only cost you $70.40.
Oh, you... Double talk? Sure. But believe it or not, gadgets and phony drugs like these rob arthritis sufferers of over $250 million every year. Think what that money would do in the right place, in the research laboratory working toward a real cure for arthritis. Well, that's why we're here. We, the Three Stooges.
I'm Larry.
I'm Mo.
I'm Curly Joe.
And we want to ask you to support the Arthritis and Rheumatism Foundation and help find a cure. That's it, and we thank you.
Yes?
Hello, I'm here on behalf of the research people at the Arthritis Foundation. You know arthritis?
Oh, indeed I do. That's the disease that afflicts more than 17 million Americans of all ages. The disease which always gives pain and very often cripples. The disease for which research dollars are needed to find the cause and one day, we hope, a cure or even a preventative.
That's what I was supposed to tell you.
Oh, not only that, but this is the time to give to the Arthritis Foundation. And I will, too. By the way, haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Well, I used to sing a little.
Oh, yes. Wasn't it Ba 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 Boo?
Ba 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 Boo. I'll have to show her my scrapbook. Oh, me, they do forget so soon, but I hope she doesn't forget to send in her check, and I hope that you remember, too. Send your contribution now to Arthritis, 1972, Beverly Hills, California, 90210. And thank you very much.
How cool was that? The Three Stooges and Bing Crosby. I mean, they were just among a cavalcade of celebrities that Jane Wyman worked tirelessly to recruit, to help spread the word and raise funds and awareness. She was also the star that brought other big stars to the fold during 2 decades of Arthritis Foundation telethons, like the famous faces that you see on the screen now. These telethons raised millions of dollars for our cause and also raised a ton of visibility. As Stanford Rubin, trustee for the Jane Wyman Trust, has shared with us, Jane was probably one of the most important philanthropists for the arthritis cause. You know, the throwbacks also remind us of how far we've come, how times have changed, and how the Arthritis Foundation has changed along with the times over 7 decades. Stan Rubin worked closely with Jane over many years, helping pull together these telethons and other awareness-raising opportunities. It was Stan who made this special Be the One gift possible, a generous $2.4 million contribution $2.4 million from the Jane Wyman Trust, which doubles every gift of $10,000 or more to the campaign through the end of this year. This moment, I'd like to recognize Stan and his lovely wife, Adrienne. Stan and Adrienne Rubin, please stand so we can give you a well-deserved round of applause. Stan and Adrienne, we are so grateful for your magnificent support of the Arthritis Foundation to help us speed up new discoveries and make life better for those who are suffering from arthritis. So again, thank you. We'd also like to pay tribute to our Be the One committee, whose member names you see on the screen. If you are a Be the One committee member, please stand and let's give them a round of applause. In addition, several donors have given $100,000 or more to advance these 4 initiatives. If you are among them, please stand and be recognized. Thank you to all the Be the One donors, to the committee, and to Stan and Adrienne Rubin for keeping the spirit of Jane Wyman alive through her life-changing trust. Now, speaking of science and all the Arthritis Foundation is doing to advance research, we now want to present what's actually a prize of $10,000, which goes to the recipient of the Lee C. Howley Sr. Prize for Arthritis Scientific Research. The award is a fitting memorial to Mr. Lee Howley, a leader of the Arthritis Foundation who started the Revco drugstore chain and was instrumental in establishing the Revco Arthritis Research Center in Cleveland. The Howley Prize has long recognized excellence among scientists. Today, it's awarded to an individual researcher who demonstrates innovation as well as an exceptional commitment to the Arthritis Foundation's mission. Tonight, we're very pleased to salute a man whose knowledge about and research into arthritis goes deep, far, and wide. Dr. Jasvinder Singh is a professor, rheumatologist, and director of a gout clinic. He's based at the University of Alabama at Birmingham and the Birmingham VA Medical Center. Dr. Singh is also a prolific researcher with more than 350 peer-reviewed original publications. In addition, he serves on many influential arthritis-related councils and committees. What makes Dr. Singh even more special to us is that despite his numerous commitments, he's always made time to contribute his vast expertise to the Arthritis Foundation. Over the years, we've had many discussions with Dr. Singh on the latest trends in rheumatology and the significance of new studies in medical literature. Dr. Singh reviews content across all platforms at the Foundation, including Arthritis Today magazine, patient brochures, and website articles and blogs. He ensures that the information the Arthritis Foundation provides is accurate and also reflects the latest developments in science and clinical best practices. Dr. Singh gives it his all to help bring us closer to a cure. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Dr. Jasvinder Singh.
Thank you. I'm really thankful to the Arthritis Foundation for this great honor. I'm also humbled to be in the company of stalwarts who have previously been bestowed this honor. My inspiration comes from various sources. The patients who show me their strength, their resilience, even in the face of adversity. They tell me and show me every day that even when they have suffering facing them, living with them, that they can find with strong will the joy and happiness in life. To my family, my wife, my 2 daughters, who provide the support, the love, and understanding so that I can continue with my passion for research and patient care. To my parents who've shown me that love and nurturing has no boundaries, not distance, not age, that they can nurture even children who have their own children. To my mentors who have helped shape my career, helped me make the right choices, continue to watch over me, make sure that I'm able to make the right decisions in my career. And over the years have become my friends, colleagues, collaborators, scientifically and otherwise. A few names that I'd like to mention today are Dr. Richard Brasington and Dr. Seth Eisen from Washington University School of Medicine, Dr. George Wells from the Ottawa Hospital, and Dr. Jeff Sloan. And I'm blessed by God to be hopefully leading on the right path, with him giving me opportunities much beyond I deserve to be able to serve and to be able to live a life of joy and peace. Again, my heartfelt thanks to the Arthritis Foundation for this great honor, and I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Singh, for all you do to improve people's lives. Now we're going to present this evening's first Champion Awards. So let me remind you here real quick of what this award's about. Champion Awards go to individual volunteers and volunteer groups who've demonstrated excellence in leadership and their commitment to further our mission. These volunteers lead fundraising efforts, open doors, build partnerships, engage other volunteers, and champion arthritis-related activities in their community. Exemplifying that and more is Teresa Paulson, a great leader of the arthritis community in my neck of the woods in Central Ohio. Teresa has influenced her company, NovaCare, to donate several $1,000s annually to local Arthritis Foundation events. She created the first national team for the Walk to Cure Arthritis, forming 21 NovaCare teams that span several states. She's also persuaded many new sponsors to join us, raising $10,000 in new funds as corporate chair for this year's Walk event. In addition, Teresa enthusiastically supports Jingle Bell Run and Arthritis Expo, as well as the Classic Auto Show and Cruise-In and Wine and Dine fundraisers. She even manages one of my favorites, the whiskey tasting tent at the Dublin Irish Festival, raising even more money for our cause. Last year, she also led a local Live Yes cooking class. She donated the meal's ingredients and demonstrated using her own kitchen utensils. Teresa serves on the Arthritis Foundation's local leadership board and recently agreed to be the board's network leader for the Live Yes Arthritis Network. So she's already hard at work lining up facilitators to help elevate our impact. Please join me in welcoming volunteer extraordinaire, Teresa Paulson.
Thank you. Thank you all. They told me to speak slowly and for only 2 minutes. So if you know me, those two things are impossible. It's truly an honor to receive this recognition, and I appreciate everything that this organization does for folks with arthritis. I started volunteering with the Arthritis Foundation 30 years ago when I graduated from The Ohio State University in physical therapy. OH, thank you. I was focused at that time on educating the public about the physical therapy and how we could help everyone live a much more productive life. We didn't have the biologics and some of the medications back then that we have now. So it was very difficult disease, even though it is today as well, but especially then, to learn that you had this diagnosis. Well, life got busy with a husband and 2 children, and there was very limited opportunity for me to volunteer. Then fast forward to 6 or 7 years ago, when I was approached by the Arthritis Foundation to get teams in a walk or something like this. Oh, okay, sure, we can do that. Well, with my team at NovaCare and some other family and friends, we started getting involved with more events, and more importantly, the thing that I was most passionate about was teaching people about controlling their pain. So I started teaching Break the Pain Chain series, and I've learned how to say that without spitting it out. And then we started becoming more involved in the fundraising activities. Unlike most of the folks who volunteer for this organization, I don't have arthritis, but I have many patients and family and friends that do. I am very passionate about the fact that arthritis patients do not have to be in pain. Through the proper medication, activity modification, and physical therapy, they can lead very successful and productive lives. I would like to thank the local Columbus team for all of their support. Susan, Liz, Mary Lou, and Chris are all the most wonderful people to work with, and I wouldn't be as successful in helping raise funds without their assistance. So I appreciate all of them, and thank you very much.
Thank you again to Teresa for her incredible commitment to the foundation. Our next champion award of the evening goes to someone who never slows down on behalf of the arthritis community. She's stalwart in her support and her commitment. Julie Butcher of Denver joined our community over 15 years ago. She has 2 children with juvenile arthritis, Katie and Ryan. Julie has made fighting this chronic disease a top priority in her family's life. Julie's taken on many Arthritis Foundation leadership roles, including serving on a local leadership board in Colorado. Her passion is fortified JA camps, teen retreats, and other family gatherings in her region. Julie generously serves as volunteer director for Camp MASH, the local JA camp, giving a huge part of her summer to creating a great program. Along with Julie's husband, Mark, the Butcher family has raised nearly $100,000 over the years, demonstrating their loyalty and determination to find a cure and to help comfort other JA families along the way. Always a champion of yes, Julie's experience and dedication make her an invaluable leader, well-deserving of our Champion Award. Julie, please join us on stage this time. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm so honored to receive this award. I feel like our family has gotten so much more than we've ever been able to give to the Arthritis Foundation. What the Arthritis Foundation has meant to my family is huge, and I just can't thank my husband enough. Mark has always supported me with everything. When I say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna chair this, and he always says, that's great, I'll support you 100%. And this has become our family mission. All of us are dedicated to make sure that other people are living, it's easier for other people living with arthritis. Andy recently started writing his college applications. He's a senior now and will be going off to college next year. And just the other night, he was finishing his college essay and he was really stressed out and he had to take a break. And what did he do? He texted all of his friends, all of his arthritis friends, to talk about his essay because of course he's writing about his experience with arthritis. And he comes running downstairs to tell us that well, he's writing his essay about arthritis, so are all of his friends, and they're having this group text about what Arthritis Foundation means to them and how they would never give up having arthritis because they have this family, and you guys have created this family for them. And these kids were talking about like, wow, what if we end up at the same college? Maybe we can be roommates. And, you know, just that's the community. And that's sometimes that, you know, we know here that we are a family and a community, but there are so many kids that you don't see that you are impacting every day. And we are so blessed to be part of this group. And thank you so much for everything you guys do, what you've created, and your leadership has been amazing. And thank you for honoring me. And I feel like I'm just so honored to be part of your family. So thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Truly a hero and a role model for all of us here tonight. So now we want to hear from a mother and daughter team whose Live Yes story is heart-touching and inspiring. 14-year-old Battey Marciari was recently diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. When she played the piano, she said it felt like her fingers were burning. One day she couldn't stand up or even get out of bed and had to skip school. Well, flash forward and enter triumph. Only a few weeks ago, Battey stood before the United Nations in New York to share her story as part of a discussion about young people who live with non-communicable diseases. Battey says she can't imagine how hard it is for those who are even less fortunate. Her mother, Julia Marciari Alexander, is director of Baltimore's Walters Art Museum and will serve on our local leadership board next year. The family has raised thousands of dollars for the Arthritis Foundation's research and resources. And besides speaking out, another way Battey expresses herself is through her painstakingly hand-lettered artwork. You can appreciate and cherish some of that on page 9 of your Evening of Honors program, and also see some of it on the screen. But on your table this evening, you'll also find a keepsake magnet featuring Battey's art. So please, take that home with you and display it proudly in your homes. So enough said about this, because they are here. They're here to share their story with us in their own words. So please welcome to the stage Julia Marciari Alexander and her daughter, Battey Marciari. Hey guys.
Hi everyone, my name is Battey Marciari and I was diagnosed with JIA, or juvenile idiopathic arthritis, in June of 2017. Since then, my life has not quite been the same. Not only has my daily routine been greatly changed, but the way my family ran their lives was greatly impacted as well. My mom and I are going to tell you a little bit more about my whole story and my 1.5 years with arthritis, and how my illness has affected my whole family. Negativity. A constant mind block that keeps you from believing in yourself and appreciating the things around you, but you still seem to come back and resort to it for comfort. I hate the doctor's office. I hate being sick and being in pain, but most of all, I certainly do not like needles. However, within a matter of weeks, all these fears became everyday situations that I would deal with for the rest of my life. When we feel confused, as people, we resort to asking questions so that we can then try to understand the situation. I would ask myself, what's happening? Why do I feel this way? Why can't I suddenly do what I used to do without even thinking? Why do we have to be different from everybody else? And why can't I understand this situation like I was able to do with others? Then, when everything was still a blur, and I tried really hard to understand and I could not, I got frustrated. When so many people had suddenly started asking me questions about my body, so many people had given me those sorry head tilts and asked if I was okay. So many people started having opinions about what I ate or what I did, and so many doctors constantly poking at me with their needles and fingers to just try and grasp the situation just like I was. And yet we still all had this question in the back of our minds, wondering why all the symptoms did not add up, why all the puzzle pieces would not stick together no matter how much you turn them or how hard you shove them. There were so many different aspects of my life that had been added, while others had been taken away in a matter of days, and neither I nor anyone around me could grasp. In March of 2017, I went on spring break with an ace bandage from falling on my wrist. I came back in a wheelchair. I had gone into spring break, going to and from school each day, and came back barely able to keep my eyes open for more than 2 hours at a time. In those first months after getting sick, I spent many days not being able to get up from my bed, never leaving the room. It was different and it was unfamiliar, and my parents looked at me in a different way than they'd ever looked at me before, and that's what scared me the most. A couple weeks had passed in spring break, and my parents had managed to get an appointment with a dermatologist at Johns Hopkins. We drove to the hospital on a Friday morning. It was rainy outside, and I was wearing sweatpants since I no longer was able to put on leggings myself. I remember thinking to myself in the back of the car, just get up and walk in there. Don't act like you can't because you know you can. Just pretend like everything's okay. Don't let them see how scared you are because you know that something is wrong. Just get through this appointment, then everything will go back to normal. After this, so many months were spent with the same question we had before. Does she have lupus? Does she have Lyme disease? It's definitely not arthritis because everything is symmetrical and that's not how it usually shows up. Time passed and we finally received a formal diagnosis, juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Turns out people who are not exactly defined as grandparents get it too. Who knew? While this solved our big question, as you may have guessed, things are still far from normal and it's 18 months later. I still had many months of uncertainty and negative thoughts that I had yet to experience, and I wish I would not have wasted so many of them like that. But I resorted to negativity as a way to cope with something I did not fully understand. Positivity. A state of mind that makes you feel a little less broken when you fall and a little more willing to get back up. After so many months of questioning, feeling sorry for myself, and way too much negativity, I finally started to understand how to make myself feel better. Friends, movement, camp, calligraphy, jokes, if they were even good enough to call them that. All of these things made me realize just how much I have and just how much we all take for granted. Squeezing your toothpaste, jumping, sitting on the ground, putting your hair up. So many things that we take for granted, yet you wouldn't believe how hard it is to laugh without doing them. I'll admit I'm stubborn and I don't like asking for help, but I've had to get really good at it. I had this idea in my head that asking for help made you stupid, that asking someone to do something for you was like being a burden on them. Maybe this was because I was always the person who wanted to help others and wanted no one to help me. However, with time I began to see that people don't mind helping you. In fact, some people really enjoy it, and it's better for you to participate than not even try because you're afraid.
Negativity. I hate battling with insurance companies. I hate making my daughter's pill cocktail every night. I hate organizing doctor's appointments, medication schedules, childcare schedules, anything over and above what I would normally have to do for a well child. I hate the reasonable question, oh, have you thought about her diet? I hate not having to drive her to dances or not taking to her friends' houses for overnights. I despise poking her with needles. I loathe seeing her in pain every day. But most of all, I'm ashamed that knowing no matter how hard I try, I still do the sorry head tilt when I look at her. When Battey became sick, the world of the elusively diagnosed autoimmune disease was completely new to us. Batteries of tests led to no hard diagnosis. 18 months of visits to world-class doctors, MRIs, bone scans, different biologics, 4 of them, different delivery methods for drugs like iron and methotrexate, have yet to lead to any kind of full remission. There are few things more heartbreaking than having to tell your 14-year-old daughter that she has definitely suffered irreparable bone damage. Positivity. I am always, and annoyingly so, trying to find silver linings. Working with school to figure out how to do 8th grade by Skype. Getting up only twice in the night because of the prednisone. Spending a day together in my office, even though my office is completely not handicap accessible and required multiple piggybacks to get there. getting through a full Thanksgiving weekend in New York where we managed to watch the Macy's Day Parade from a friend's window, and to see a play despite curbs, steps, thresholds, and many uncomfortable long piggybacks through the crowded streets and non-accessible situations. These were just a few of last year's wins. We became even more close-knit as a family. My son, who's here, really stepped up. He helped his twin with her chores, which was not easy, getting her food and carrying her stuff around, and most of all, he made her laugh with his goofy tricks and jokes. We've gotten really, really good at finding joy in the smallest of things. But for us, the turning point was really the Jingle Bell Run. I am an occasional 5K-er, and I decided to run the 5K here in Baltimore last year, and I posted on my fundraising page that I was going to try and raise $200. Within 5 minutes, my friends had blown through that, and we were able over a month to raise just over $5,000 for the run. So I'm a museum director. I have to raise a lot of money, so you might think that that's not a big deal, but this was purely personal. And the moms of Beatty's friends and a bunch of girls came to run in front of me, not with me. And my husband, who's also here tonight, he actually won in the old guy category. But the only other guy who beat him was 20. So, there you go. So before this race, we were actually complete strangers to the Arthritis Foundation and to the world of arthritis. But this was the moment when we dove in. And it was incredible to watch Beatty as she found connections with Lauren Yankelonis and Lexi Evans, the leadership here in Maryland. I watched as my beautiful daughter, who had been wilting for so long, started to straighten up and take in the sun again. She was asked to stand as the youth honoree for the June Walk for Arthritis, and she found her stance and she found her voice, and they are strong and powerful. She raised over $16,000. Watching her become an advocate not only for juvenile arthritis, but also for psoriatic arthritis, and more broadly, becoming an advocate for non-communicable diseases and arthritis within that, has been an amazing journey. Of course, we want her to get to remission as soon as possible, because this really stinks, right? I mean, this is not okay. But wow. Does my daughter really rock her arthritis, or what? So I want to thank all of you for giving us hope and for making it possible to find the cure, and for all the work that you do to make that possible. But it is inspiring not only to watch her do her work, but also to find herself and to find her yes in all of you. And she's going to close it out.
If I were given the choice, I honestly probably would not choose to ever relive this time in my life. But I can definitely say I have learned a lot from it. I've learned how to cope with things I'd never thought I'd need to. And with the help of the Arthritis Foundation, I've learned to think positively, but most of all, as a family, we are proud to have become champions of yes.
Beatty, Julia, John, and Jack, we couldn't be prouder or more grateful for all you do to help make it possible for more families just like yours to live their best life. So thank you again. All right, who's ready to maybe get up and groove a little bit tonight? This side of the room in particular, I don't know. This is the moment we get to do just that. We want to welcome our Evening of Honors musical guest. So for youngsters like Beatty and Emily, who you're going to meet a little bit later this evening, arthritis often robs them of special moments of their childhood. But thanks to our next guest, Steven Battey, more people are becoming aware of how much arthritis diminishes quality of life at any age. Steven's love for music began in his hometown of Savannah, Georgia. He's produced material for Madonna, Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, and others. He's received 4 Grammy nominations, and in 2011, he won his first Grammy Award. Now, recently, Steven teamed up with healthcare professional Alex Peterson to create Singing for Superheroes. The organization inspires kids living with illness and disability to show them they're not alone while raising awareness about arthritis and other chronic illness. And last year, Superheroes produced this music video to call out J.A. Co-starring in the video were young Jillian Reed, who fights J.A. herself, and star football player Sharkandrick West, who has also beaten back J.A. So you see him in the clip that's playing on the screen. So right now, if I can, I want to raise the house lights, recognize Jillian Reed and her dad, Joe, as well as Alex Peterson. You guys are superheroes, and we appreciate your commitment. So now let's welcome to the stage to perform the song Body of Steel, Mr. Steven Battey.
How y'all doing tonight? We gonna have some fun. Can y'all stand up for me? I'm sorry, I just wanna get y'all up here on y'all feet really quick. Kids get arthritis too. We wanna thank you guys so much for supporting Singing for Superheroes. We fight every day until the morning light. We try to do the impossible. That's right, with every inch of pain, every scar. Yeah. One hand holding on to another hand. One glance telling me that I can try again and again. I know you got my back if I fall. Y'all got everybody's back. Make some noise. And we can make it. Just look how far we've come. And every day is a blessing. So glad you think that I'm number one. 'Cause I got a body still. Got a body still. You're a fighter. Hey, I'm a fighter. Do it one day at a time, one day at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time, one breath at a time, one breath at a time. Whoa, whoa. Hey, my home, right across the train tracks. I would make it known that I would make a mark on the field. My zone, I know what I do it for. Come on, y'all. Yeah. Hey, and we can make it. Hey, just look how far we've come. And every day is a blessing. Hey, so glad you think that I'm number one. Sing along. I got a body still. Hey, got a body. some noise. You're a fighter. Oh, I got a body of steel. Got a body of steel. You're a fighter. Oh, you're a fighter. And we'll do it one day at a time, one day at a time, one breath at a time, one breath at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. And y'all wanna hear me rap about this? Make some noise. I do battle. I jump back in the saddle, had to. In the middle of the night when the illness bites and I thought it had you. Bad move, won't stay down, won't lay down. No pain, no gain, what you say now? Got a body, is still in a cape now. No pain, no gain, what you say now? Got an S on my test, I'm tested. I prayed he healed and blessed it. I ain't come this far to fall now. It's been a long road, but I'm walking tall now. Drop the ball now, that's not an option, know how. I'm all the way up, it goes down. Optimistic, strong and I conquered this quick. Make some noise. Got a body of steel. I'm a fighter. Oh, you're a fighter. On this side, make some noise. Hey, don't let them beat y'all now. Y'all make some noise on this side right here. Come on, bodies. I ain't forgot about y'all. You're a fighter. Oh, I'm a fighter. Thank you.
Steven Battey, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for celebrating us being fighters and for motivating all of us to keep fighting. We want to thank Steven and our appreciation as well to Alex, to Sharkandrick, Jillian, and everyone who keeps us on our toes to conquer arthritis once and for all. So we're going to take a quick break after our next presentation. But before we do, I want to invite to the stage representatives of another longtime supporter of the Arthritis Foundation. The Independent Order of Oddfellows and Rebeccas began in 18th century England. Back then, it was deemed odd to find people organized for the purpose of giving aid to those in need and pursuing projects that benefited all of humanity. They're a worldwide fraternity in 26 countries made up of men, women, and youth, all striving to make the world a better place. Their three-ring emblem signifies friendship, love, and truth. The Oddfellows and Rebeccas have supported the Arthritis Foundation since 1982. And this evening, they're here to make their annual gift to the Foundation's work to improve people's lives and cure arthritis. So joining us this evening, we're delighted to have with us for the very first time the Oddfellows Sovereign Grand Master of the Sovereign Grand Lodge, Mr. Douglas Pittman. And returning this year, a man who's joined us many times over the years, Mr. Clarence Plant, who's chair of the Oddfellows Arthritis Committee for the Sovereign Grand Lodge. Now you see this here, not just large in size. Doug and Clarence are here to present a $325,000 check to fund research, researchers, and support. You guys rock. Thank you to the Oddfellows and Rebeccas. And Clarence, as chair of your arthritis committee, if you could please say a few words.
Oh, how great it is that we as a people join together for one common cause, and that's finding a cure for a debilitating disease that affects many people. But I'm gonna tell you what, this check this evening doesn't mean very much because I heard something from Teresa. She gave me an idea of how we can raise more money. And I believe she said something about whiskey tasting. Yeah. Oh, yes, that's all right. But then when I heard this young man singing, it made me shake it, make me feel good. Let me say to the champion of yes, yes, we're gonna conquer this disease. And God knows we know how. At this particular time, I would like to present the Honorable Doug Pittman, the Sovereign Grand Master of the world, my boss.
Thank you so very much. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for us to come to this gathering tonight to present our gift. The Oddfellows established in the city of Baltimore in North America, April 26th of 1819. We will celebrate our 200th year anniversary this spring, and we're very proud. Our association with arthritis since 1982 is nearly 40-year association. We're very, very proud to support this group. We're very honored that we can bring our gift and help fight this disease. And we thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this. It's so exciting, it's so much fun. All you people are great people, and we love you dearly. You give us many gifts in life, but most of all, we thank you for your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you, Clarence. So thank you again to Clarence and to Doug. And we know the check they just presented is going to be put to good use. Now, we have a few more awards to bestow this evening, including the highest honor of the year. But first, we're going to take a very short break. Don't go far. Be back in the room and back in your seats in 5 minutes. All right? So a short break, and we'll be right back.